So this is something I've been working on for the past couple of days. And it's a game that simulates the evolution of colorful little kitties. Though of course this isn't the actual simulation, it's the initial screen that where you set out the initial conditions of the simulation. But let's not touch this for now. Let's just start with these default settings, just to see what it looks like. The game is paused. I don't know why. Yeah, there. So you see there's like 20 critters, and their colors represent their stats. So you can see this creature is named G1F0-1, and that means it's Generation 1, Family 0, and the first member of that family. She's female, 0.9 years old, very young, and she has 1.69 health and 0.5 both speed, defense, and social. She also has 1 poison resistance and 1 radiation resistance. So the way this game works is eventually, when these creatures are 3 years old, so let's fast forward a little bit, they'll reproduce, and their children's stats will be slightly different. There, I think someone had hits. Yeah, the green lines point towards the kids' parents, and the blue lines point from a creature to their partner, and the white lines go to their children. So you can see G1F9-1 just had children with G1F6-1, and this one's male, this one's female. And their stats are slightly different. So over time these stats will accumulate, and some families will survive while others will perish. Let's keep it running and see what happens. Let's see, this one died at age 4.6, so very young. So you can see they're multiplying a whole bunch as time progresses. They will multiply if their overall population is less than 80 or equals 80. So once it reaches that, they won't really have children as much. They'll just run around and hang out until they die, which will reduce the population, and the need to reproduce will rise up once again. Some of them can have multiple. Some of them will have can have multiple partners, which it ensures the survival of a creature's genetic code. So yeah. So you can see their colors are a bit more varied now. They're not just black and white. So what do their colors mean anyway? Let's look at the help screen here. This game simulates the evolution of colorful three-legged cat creatures. Their colors represent their stats. Overall brightness is health, red is speed, green is defense, and blue is how social they are. So like, if a creature is white, like pure white, that means all their stats are relatively high, and they're very healthy, and also fast, can defend themselves well, and social. And if a creature is black, they're basically dead. They're very close to dying. And if a creature is like blue, they're very social but not very fast, and they won't fare well in fights. And fights will happen because some creatures will have a very low social stats, so, and they'll just go around punching everyone. Which, yeah, there's one. This one has a social of less than 0.4, so she just goes around and punches everyone. I'm controlling her right now, by the way. You can do that when you're tracking one of these critters, which you can do by middle-clicking them. You may have also noticed that there are trees around. The trees also reproduce, though they do it asexually, unlike the critters who do it sexually. So the trees will just generate a child in a random location every now and then, if their overall population is less than like 30, I think. Their colors don't mean much for now, except for green, which means how poisonous the tree is. And well, depending on the poison resistance and stuff, a cat's health will decrease if they eat from the tree. This one's still going around punching everyone. The cat's lifespans are generally around their health multiplied by 100, so... But it's not very easy to predict when they're still alive, because their health slowly decreases due to the radiation level, which you can see at the top right. And like they can eat from the poisonous trees and stuff, which will decrease their health and therefore the lifespan. But I think this one will live to be like something like 80 years old, maybe. So this population is slowly changing. Let's see what happens after a few centuries. This graph here shows the progression of the population's average stats over time. So you can see they're generally rising right now. So there's a lot of fighting and a lot of dying, but we can see some brighter ones popping up gradually. Which means that the stats are increasing and it looks like speed has separated from the rest. The cats also have a simple AI which is visualized when you hover over them. So you can see... I should stop controlling them. You can see that this tree is highlighted red and the cats get highlighted in white. What does this mean? The white highlight is the cat's current object of interest, which they will tend towards when they move, and the red highlight is the current object of avoidance, which they will tend away from. An object of avoidance can be a poisonous tree or an aggressive color cat, so they'll generally run away from those and run towards their object of interest, like another color cat or a normal tree. So they generally tend to group together as they tend towards their fellow color cats. And this is good because it increases the chances of finding a mate and reproducing. So generally it's not very common that the entire population will just go extinct after some time. We're starting to see a lot of cats with black eyes, which means that their body is relatively bright and their stats are relatively high. So this is good. Okay, this one has less than 1 health and a lot of children, like 6, and 2 partners, and has less than 1 poison resistance, so let's try eating from a poisonous tree, like this one. You can see the health has decreased. Oh, this one's gonna be a... This is weird, actually. Well, I guess this tree is very bright, so it's very healthy. So I guess that, like, overpowers the poison in the tree. So it actually increases my health. So yeah. So this is my dad. Okay, he just went to the other side of the world. The map, like, looks over. So if a cat, like, goes to the west side of the map, they'll just reappear on the east side, and if they go to the north, they will reappear from the south. So This planet is technically donut-shaped. When two color cats reproduce, their stats will be average between the two. So if a red color cat reproduces with like a yellow one, they'll get an orange kid, which might also be slightly yellow or slightly red, or like even slightly green, because their stats will be affected by mutations, and that's what drives evolution. Let's keep going forward. You can see a note here that says the simulation may be less accurate at really high time rates, because yeah, this was made in Godot, and it may not be very good at handling like running lots of AIs forward at this rate, but I think it's still generally going to be more or less accurate, or at least it's going to produce interesting results. You see some very magenta trees popping up. Like I said, red and blue in the tree colors doesn't really mean anything at the moment, but maybe I'll find some stat to assign to those colors. You can see that below the graph there's the average color of the population, the average lifespan, which is calculated whenever someone dies, and the oldest living cat at the moment, which, let's pause, is G17F4-2 at the age of 106. Let's try to find them. Okay, see, this one is named, this one has that name, but it's a different one because they're just 3 years old. This one too. And also a different sex. This one's female, this one's male. And this one too. A lot of them will have the same name. This one's 7 years old. Oh, there she is. Yeah, the oldest living one. Let's see what she does. I'm not... Oh, she died. For some reason, health seems to exactly coincide with social on the graph, which is weird because they're different things. They're like the brightness of the average color and the amount of blue in it. So I don't know why that happens. Maybe I'll figure it out. So we're in the second millennium now, and all the cats are actually brighter now. They have black eyes, so they're generally... There's a lot of purple ones, so this means they're like social and relatively fast. Health and social continued to rise in the 16th century, and speed is kind of plateauing. I can't go too fast because they start like getting teleported outside of the map, which is... I can't even imagine how it looks from their perspective, because like the planet's a donut, so what does it mean when they're like outside the square? It's like taking them out of the universe, which must be very shocking for them. I also have the graph's color change with a cycle of about 10,000 years, because why not? It's 2025 now, present day. This is our world today. This is me. Now let's continue into the future. The average color is getting kind of redder, and the speed's rising again. And so is defense, interestingly. Okay, looks like everyone's kinda purple now. So let's go back and see what happens if we fiddle with these settings. So we have the initial health range, which by default is between 0 and 2, so like some of them will just... there's a chance some of them will just die immediately. And let's set that a bit higher. And the starting population is 20 by default. You can set it to only 2, which I don't know if the species can even survive that way, but I don't know, you can play around with this and see if they can actually live through it. And the random stats is how random the initial stats other than health will be. So like by this amount. So let's set it to 1 and see what happens. Oh, I forgot to I forgot to increase the starting population. Here. So this generally speeds up evolution because there's more diversity and like there are much healthier ones like this one. Oh, this is Baba. This one's fast. This one's fast. This one's like... this one has very high stats. Someone just had kids here. Oh, I think I just had children. Yeah. God damn it, stop. Yeah, this is my partner, and these are our children, I think. Yeah, basically. I have like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. And she has 2 partners, me and this guy. So yeah, all our kids are very, like, white, and I think they'll be very successful. Our family will be very successful, because our stats are very high. We're just naturally OP. Unlike this guy, who just... he's green. Nobody likes green people. And Artificer Rain World here. And, Mr. Brownie. Also, look at the graph. The average stats are, like, literally off the charts. And it's probably because of this family. Which one is it? F9. So yeah. This higher diversity has led to, like, much higher average stats. Just because of one guy who was OP from the very start. So eventually, everyone's just gonna have very high stats. As the lower stats will be, like, wiped out. Because the amount of children a creature can have depends on their health. In fact, it's their health multiplied by 4. So if a creature has, like, 1 health, they'll have 4 children every time they reproduce. And if they have 2 health, they'll have, like, 8. If they have like 0.5 health, they'll have just 2 kids, and so on. The bubbles are really taking over now. The average stats have kind of fallen, but they're still, like, incredibly high. Defense is at 1.5, and... actually, this is interesting. Health is now exactly following speed. I wonder why that is. So this is getting kind of boring, so let's play with the radiation level. Let's set it to 1. And this should lead to bigger mutations, but also a faster, constant decrease in the health of the caddies. Because, you know, it's radiation, it's not always beneficial. So you can see the overall health is, like, falling now. I think that might have been too high, actually. But, like, people are also getting... oh god, oh, what's happening to those stats? Yeah, they're, like, fluctuating wildly now. Because, really, like, super mutated kids are being born. And they're wildly offsetting the average stats of the population. Because the radiation level is so high and mutations are so big. So, like, a red parent can have, like, a blue child with, like, another red parent, because that's just how it works now. And now, the graph is actually insane. Like, I can't even see two of the stats. Just defense, which is insanely high. Everyone is basically a demigod. Like, who's this guy? This woman, sorry. She's basically immortal, 12 health. And this one too has a defense of 1, actually it's 2 people. Hold on, let's see. Yeah. Age 11, 13 health, 0.91 speed, 1 defense, and not very social. So imagine being like basically immortal. You're gonna live to be like 1000 years old, and all that time you're gonna be just going around punching everyone who you come across. So yeah, this is what happens when you messed with the radiation level. So it's pretty fun, and I hope you have fun playing with this thing that I will link in the description of this video. And I'll see you later, perhaps in another video where I talk with my mouth. Hopefully as I talk more I'll be less awkward with it, because this video will probably have a lot of cuts. But yeah, I hope it's enjoyable nonetheless. These guys are just bricks. This one's literally anti-social, negative social. And this one too, but like by a much smaller amount. This one has negative defense, so like they'll perish in a fight. Probably. But they also have really high health, so I don't know. Okay, they died.